in from behind me. Come on. What's up, y'all? This is your boy Gerald. It is March the 10th, 2013. It is Sunday. It is spring is kind of trying to show itself. It's still kind of cold here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I just woke up. I got my coffee. Gotta get that, and just taking a moment to energize my day. And first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to all of you that have taken the time, for one, to stumble onto my videos. Thank you very much. I hope that all that you've received is placed within you, and that can serve as your greatest good. I just had my birthday Thursday. Thank you for those who reached out. One thing I did, 1201, I gave thanks because God didn't have to wake me up. He didn't have to give me that day, but He found that I was worthy enough to continue on till He calls me home. And I've been reaching out to some of you that, first and foremost, thank you for taking the time to extend that communication. Feel free. I will put out my contact information again, so that if you have any questions and concerns, by all means, drop me a line here. I can be reached on Facebook as well, Gerald Davis at Facebook. Just for a region, look under Virginia Beach, Virginia. And if I can help you out in any way, I'll try. I'm a firm believer that to get back on the right path on finding who you are, you first must look at your foundation at that moment. You have to do that. And to do that, you've got to be real with yourself. Good, bad, or indifferent, that is your benchmark. That is your template. And the beautiful thing about that is, when you're ready to make that transition within yourself, you're not going to have a judging heart. Think about it. Excuse me. Because you're looking within yourself, and it doesn't matter what you're going through. It really doesn't, because see, you're here on earth for a divine purpose, and the struggle that you may be going through is actually a precursor of your destiny. And what is going on right now is you're being made aware. So what is required is you're going to have to make some shifting, some choices. And some are going to be hard. Some are going to be pretty... Oh, you just won't be on... Let me see if I push this back a little bit. Alright, let's see if I can... See, Tyson wants to be on there too. Oh, now you don't want to. Okay, cool. You're going to have to make some choices. First and foremost, the first choice is, when are you going to start loving yourself? You're saying, Gerald, I love myself. Why would you say that? Because if you truly love yourself, I'm not saying taking a position of arrogance, vindictiveness, or spite. Those are all mere distractions to more or less cloud your judgment. When you truly take a position of self-love, you walk in compassion, you walk in kindness. It enhances your intellect of judgment. If you remember back in your life, think back. You've always heard this term of inner child. Remember that? Remember how you felt as you were developing, that you felt that you were invincible. The world was life's playground. You were in a position of receiving knowledge and experiences, and those influences served as more or less a way that you navigate your life, good or bad. Now, as we mature, we tend to lean on the influences of our past. So let's look at it from a sense of if they were negative, traumatic, painful. Those experiences can be very daunting. They can be very challenging. They can be downright scary. Now, as we progress as humans, make no mistake, you are a spiritual being first. Your physical sense only serves as a vehicle for this, where we have, Earth. But you are a spiritual being first and foremost. So now, as you look back at your life, you're starting to gauge on some of the things that could have been done differently, could have been, I don't want to say maybe a missed opportunity, but you see, you have a consciousness now that has brought whatever thought pattern that you had subconsciously back. If it was negative, a trauma. All that is an emotional trigger within you that is causing you to either play that issue out again, or relive the event. I want to tell you something. You were already built or given the blessing to conquer that. But you just can't see it yet. You just don't see it right now. So, if you're going through something, if the tears are flowing, if you're feeling that you're alone, I'm here to tell you, you're not. You are not. That is nothing but the negative, I call them the devil, using those fears to suppress your growth. You see, my higher power is my Lord Jesus Christ. So there is no, there's no secret. All day, yeah, you saw that. And I've come to learn that we as humans tend to gravitate towards the things that we lack. The question is why? So what's required on that is you got to do some work. First and foremost, ask yourself, why am I not happy? What's keeping me from my happiness? What am I not doing that suppresses my smile? What is it that I can do to set that course back to where it should be? which basically meaning you are in flow with yourself, mind, body, and soul, spirit. Look at your environment. If you are in an environment that does not bring any joy, is constant turmoil, that is actually a message that there is something going on with inside you that you must bring attention to. See, I tell everybody this all the time, and excuse my French. See, when you live a good life, you try to strive to be the best that you can. It's infectious. People gravitate around your energy. But if you're living the negative, your position is of really just downright pain. Haven't you noticed that people that are negative, we tend to not give any energy to? We try to run from it. There's a reason behind it, because there's an order that we function. So, with that being said, you must make time. First of all, you've got to make a choice. Make a choice on what do you want? What is important to you? But make sure whatever your positioning is, it's pure. I'm here to tell you, y'all, you have more days of sunshine ahead of you once you've brought whatever work is required to fruition. You just got to see it. You're on the verge of it. But with blessings, when you have blessings manifest in your life, it is your responsibility to cultivate it. You have to cultivate it. There's a requirement. So, think about what's important to you. Do you want to live a life of happiness? Or do you wish to be in misery? You wasn't brought on this planet for that. You were brought here for the higher good. That is why, if you notice, when people walk in negativity, their whole environment is negative. Their whole disposition is about negativity. But it's up to you to see that, well, basically, you're living a life that is not yours. You're not. And what happens is your development and your progression is stunted. So you can't do that. You're doing such an injustice. You know how they say, if you want to be a financial success, you align yourself with those who are in that mindset. It's the same. That's the same principle. But it never can happen if it's not in love. You got to love yourself, y'all. You got to. It's required. Now, here's the funny part. Have you noticed how there are people that think that being driven, assertive, motivated to accomplish whatever it is, but if it's not pure, those are always the ones that fall the hardest, because you went against the order. You went against the spiritual order of your life. It's not, think about it. Look at society. So many scandals going on. Every year there's someone different, but the same old scenario plays out. Next thing you know, a period of time comes around, there's a book, and they're telling you about their testimony. But then, in the end, they always say, well, if I was true to myself, maybe I would have not made the decisions I made. Because they went against the order of their life. I watched one of my favorite movies is called For What Dreams Come True. Robin Williams Cuba Gooding Jr. And Cuba had a part in there where he said hell is a life gone wrong. So if you feel that you're in hell, it's time for you to hit that reset button and do the work. Granted, you're going to see things in your life that you're going to have to close the door on. You don't have to lock the door, but you're going to have to close it, because that's how change is initiated. Change isn't something that happens in front of everybody. This is a period of self. That's why healing is called healing. Because when you heal, you find yourself. You got to get back to one. To get back to one, you've got to love yourself. God is love. He is a complete energy that never is broken. Okay, for my gamers, think of God like the coach on Madden. He's got the playbook of your life. He tells you what you need to do, and if you listen to him, he will give you the victory that you want. But when we turn around and we allow ego to get in the way, we allow pride to cloud our judgment, we use spitefulness or anything that is negative, you realize you always not only don't get what you want, but you set back further than where you started. Reason why? The reason is it's because you are going to reflect. It's about reflection. What did you learn from this? And what happens with that is, if you truly learn, you adjust. And isn't your life worth that? I think so. Well, look, I'm going to cut this part off. I'm going to bring another one out because I want to go more into this. So, thank you for all that have found my videos. Feel free to, hey, if you know someone that may need this, put it out there. Put it out there. I'm a firm believer that we can change the world one person at a time, but it takes one person to step in faith. God's praying for you. You know I am. Till next video. Stay blessed.